Part 3, learn to crochet Squish, the star of the Roadkill Blanket. Although he has suffered an unfortunate setback, Squish is still quite entertaining. While he was originally designed to be sewn right to the blanket, you can also make him separately as a doll. Since he is pretty slim all over, he makes the perfect travel companion. Squish has been known to stow away in a backpack, slither among the pillows on the bed, or curl up in a pocket. This little character definitely has unusual hideouts. Add a comment and let me know where in the world is your Squish. While Squish is easy to crochet, there are a lot of steps. Each piece is presented in the order in which it should be made, as these parts are needed for the following steps. The companion pattern is available by following the link in the description below. Let's begin. So we're going to first make the tongue. And with pink, form a slip knot about 15 inches from the end. With double strand, we're going to chain 10. We're going to drop that end off, but with a single strand, we're going to chain one more. Then, in the top loops of the second chain from the hook, we're going to work a single crochet. And I'm working one single crochet under the top loop of the foundation chain until the last chain. Now, if you notice, I am laying this yarn tail down right along that edge and working around it to weave it in as I go. Now I'm at the last chain, and in the last chain I work 3. 1, 2, 3 single crochets. What that does is it rounds that curve, because now I'm going to work on this side of the foundation chain. So I have a double row. So 1 single crochet in each of the chains. And if you notice, it's going just opposite where the other single crochet was on the other side of the foundation chain. And I'm just going to work 1 single crochet in each one to the end. Okay, I'm there. I'm going to put my last single crochet in there and end off. And I'm going to weave this end in. About 4 inches from the end of our brown, we're going to form our slip knot and chain 3. Now you can use the double strand because we can weave this one in too if we want. So there's my 3. Now I'm working with a single strand at this point, but I can lay that end down also and work around it. I'm going to work 2 single crochets in the second chain from the hook and 1 in the next. I'm at the end of the row. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. I'm going to work 2 single crochets in the very first single crochet under the top 2 loops of that single crochet, and then 1 in each of the next to the end. So in reality, what that does is I'm increasing 1 each row, 1 stitch each row. Chain 1, turn, 2 single crochets in the first one, 1 in each of the next stitches. I'm going to do it again and again and again until I have a total of 8 single crochets across this edge. Okay, I'm on the final row. I'm going to chain 1 and turn. In the very first stitch, I'm going to work 2 single crochets, and then I'm working the 3rd single crochet in the next stitch. So I have 1, 2, 3. I should end up with 9 across here, so I'm going to align the tongue with the next 3. So I'm going to insert my hook through both thicknesses, and it can get kind of tight. Through the first one, there we go. Single crochet tightly. Then I'm going to insert my hook into the next one and the next stitch on the jaw. Pull the loop, single crochet, and then into the next one. Through both thicknesses, through the tongue and through, oops, I split the yarn there. I'll do that again. There we go. So I have 3 stitches that are attaching that tongue. Then I'm going to work 1, 2, and 3 to finish that row. So now my tongue is attached and I don't have to worry about it. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of yarn tail. That can stay there and we'll use it later. This one, since I wove it in, I'm just going to trim it off and get it out of my way. So that is our little jaw and tongue assembly. We'll need that later when we do the head. The eyeball and the nose are identical. You make 2 eyeballs, 1 nose. Leaving about a 4-inch yarn tail, form a slip knot and chain 3. Now I'm going to yarn over, insert in the 3rd chain from the hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. And I'm reserving 1 loop, so it's an incomplete double crochet. Then I'm going to do the same thing 5 times total. Here's the second one. Here's the 5th one. Now it gets kind of tight in there, but that's okay. Now I have 6 loops on the hook, and I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 6 loops. I'm going to chain 1 and end off my yarn, leaving another 4-inch yarn tail, and can pull this loop through. I'm going to tie these 2 ends together to shape it into a sphere, like that. Knot it off again, and that is my eyeball. We'll embroider pupils later, but you always wait until the end. Form a slip knot about 4 or 5 inches from the end. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, then work 9 double crochets into the 3rd chain from the hook. There we go, that's our 9th. Now, if you want, you can chain 1 more, but you don't have to. End your yarn and pull it through. So that is our 2nd ear. Now that we have the ears, the eyes, the nose, and the jaw assembly together, we can start the head. There's 2 variations of the head, and I'm going to show you the chubby version. We're starting at the tip of the nose. We're chaining 2 to start. 1, 2. In the 2nd chain from the hook, we're going to work 6 single crochets, but I'm going to first insert my hook, and I'm going to take my yarn and wrap it around so I can pull up that nose nice and tight later and work the single crochet. That's our 1st, here's our 2nd, and 6. Now I usually do this pretty tight. So now I have 6 single crochets, and I'm going to let that end drop off to the inside. Now we're not turning, but we're going to continue to work in a spiral. So on round 2, I'm going to work 2 single crochets in each of the first 2 stitches. One single crochet in the next stitch, and then 2 single crochets in each of the next 2 stitches, and 1 single crochet in the next. This means there will be 10 single crochets in this round when I get to the end. So I put my markers into place. This is the beginning of the round, the orange one, and the 2 green ones are the sides. Now, on the 3rd round, we're going to work even. That means work 1 single crochet in each stitch around. We're not doing decreases and we're not doing increases. Now the next round I'm going to be doing 3 increases. I'm not going to do the increase at the beginning of the round, but I am going to increase at each of the side markers. Those are the green markers. And it just has to be approximately there. So I'm putting 2 single crochets in that stitch. And then I'm working to the center of the face. This will be the center of the face between these 2. This is under the underjaw. The lower, it's where the lower jaw will go later. So I'm just going to approximate, that's close enough. Put a single, an extra single crochet there. And then I'm going to work to the next marker. And I'm going to put 2 single crochets at that side marker. And then I'm going to work to the end of my round. On the odd number rows, like on row 3, 5, 7, 9, I
I just have to work even. So all I have to do is go and put one single crochet in each one around. So I won't be talking about those rows or those rounds anymore because they're all the same. So I'll meet you when I get to the end of this round. On round 4, I increased at this marker, and at the center of the face. I'm going to do the exact same thing. Now I'm going to alternate those 2 rows until I have a total of 21 stitches. So since this next round is even, I'm going to count them off as I go.
Since you have easy access to the inside of the muzzle, now is the perfect time to pull the yarn tail tightly to close the hole at the end and secure it with a few stitches. Then, use the yarn tails from the nose to sew it into place. Bring the ends to the inside and knot them together. The ends just become stuffing.
When I get the 21 stitches, then I will work even until I get to where I'm going to add his jaw on. And that is round 13. I'll see you then. On round 13, I'm going to add the jaw assembly. But because this is the lower jaw, this is where I'm going to add it, like so. So I have to back off a couple of stitches so that I can start at the edge of the jaw. So right there. Make sure the tongue is facing the head. I'm going to insert my hook under the stitch of the jaw assembly and through the next stitch on the head and work a tight single crochet. And I'm going to do the same thing over each of the stitches along the bottom edge. Now you don't even have to worry about if it's a little cockeyed, because remember, this is Squish. He's been squished. And we're going to continue to come back right down to his lower jaw. The lower jaw is now the beginning of the row. This is the last of the brown that we need. Cut the yarn, and I'm going to pull it through and then just secure the end. Now we have his muzzle, his mouth assembly all attached. Isn't that nice? In the same place where we left off, we're going to attach the variegated. And I'm just going to work a single crochet in each one of these stitches around. And when you get back to the beginning, all you have to do is just continue in the spiral. So now we're going to continue. I have 3 more rows to do. I'll meet you then. Now I'm just coming around my 4th row. 1, 2, 3, 4 rows of the variegated. But I'm going to stop when I get to this edge because I'm going to start working a decrease. I'm going to do a decrease, a single crochet 2 together, and then 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. So I'm doing a single crochet 2 together to do a decrease, and then I'm working 1 single crochet in each of the next 2.
And I'm going to repeat this until I return to where I started, on the side edge.
Now that we stopped over on this edge, we have to do a couple of things. I'm going to lay out his ears so I know what his face is going to look like. Just like I added the nose, I'm adding the eyeballs.
Use the yarn tails to sew the eyeballs in place, right in the middle of the mask. Then bring the yarn tails to the inside and secure each eyeball with a knot. Now we can finish the head. Add just enough polyester stuffing to shape the nose and the head, but be careful not to overstuff. After all, we want him to be pretty flat.
We ended on the side edge. I'm going to pick up my last loop again and pull it up. The ears are going to be crocheted into place. You're going to face the front edge face down. So my first stitch is going to catch this stitch here, this stitch here, right next to it, and make sure it's facing downward. I'm going to catch this edge of this stitch right here. All right, and the first one's always the hardest. I'm going to do a single crochet. I'm going to pull up a loop, pull it tight, gotta have it tight, and do a single crochet. Then I'm going to go into the next stitch on this side of the head to close the head, and around this double crochet on the edge. Do another single crochet. The next stitch usually falls right in the center then, but I have to make sure I get the other side of the head all at the same time. And then the ear. Pull it tight. Then the next stitch. The next one on the front of the head, or on the face, which I think is right here. And then around that stitch, pull up a loop tight, and now I'm going to just join the next one. This is my center one, so I'm going to catch the edge of the ear so it ties it down, and do a single crochet. Now I like to look at it. See how nice that went into place? I like to look at it before I do the second ear in case I have to make any adjustments, because there's a lot of stuff going on here. Can you see how his ears are attached there? We're not done yet. So now I'm going to turn it, pull back his ears like that, and I'm going to work a single crochet under both loops along his ear. When I get up toward the top, I probably will have to take 1 or 2 increases to keep the curve of the ear without distorting the ear. So that was one that I did there, and here's another one. I'm getting right down to the end. I'm going to make sure I tack it down right into that stitch on the end too. We have one more thing to do before we finish his face, and that is to do his pupils. One thing that I have learned is don't use your darning needle for this purpose. I split the ply, so I have 2 plies of worsted weight yarn, and I'm going to use a crewel needle. A crewel needle is pointier than a darning needle, so it allows you to pierce the fibers of the yarn a lot easier. And I'm going to just bring it up from the back to about there, and I'll put my hand on that. But I gave him a little pupil here, so now I just need to stitch across like so. I don't like to put the pupils in until the doll head is at least finished, because I don't know which way the eye is going to fall when I sew it in. So now I know I want his pupils sort of like buggy eyes. Yes! So then I can bring this back inside the head, come across, and come out the other eye. Now you can go back and forth a couple times if you wanted to, but I kind of like that. He looks cute. So I'm going to bring it out the back of his body. I can just trim these. Just pull them a little tighter, trim them, and they go and then disappear into the body of the little guy. Normally I make the tire track in the brown of the animal color and black, but since you can't see black on film very easily, I'm going to do the black part in gray. So now I'm going to chain 18. Roll the chain over to expose the 3rd loop on the back. In the 3rd chain from the hook, we're going to work a half double crochet. And you do that by yarning over, inserting it, pulling up a loop, 3 loops on hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. And we're going to work 1 half double crochet in each of the chains across. Getting in that last one. Okay, we have 16 half double crochets and the turning chain at the very beginning. Okay, now we chain 2 and turn. We're going to work a single crochet 2 together over the next 2 stitches. So we insert our hook, pull up a loop, then insert our hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop. 3 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, and work a single crochet, chain 1 in the next, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1. So we're doing a moss stitch right now. Single crochet, chain 1, skip 1, single crochet, chain 1, skip 1. Now, in the top of that turning chain, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1, and then a half double crochet into the turning chain. What that does is by decreasing at the beginning, you angle in, and by increasing at the end, you angle out, so that we're creating the parallelogram shape. When we do that last half double crochet, this is where we start to pick up our brown. So let's do that half double crochet again. So we're going to yarn over with just the gray, insert, pull up a loop. When we have the 3 loops on hook, we're going to carry the yarn at the same time. We're going to pick up the brown color and just finish that half double crochet off with both colors. Now we drop the gray, but leave it attached because we'll be coming back to it in a minute. And we're going to continue on to row 3. Chain 2. Now this is the increase end. So what we're going to do is work a single crochet, chain 1 in each space across. Single crochet, chain 1. Single crochet, chain 1. But we're only going in those chain 1 spaces that we formed in the row below. We're just continuing in moss stitch is what we're doing. When we get to the end, we're going to end with a single crochet under the turning chain. And turn. Now we're going to go back again. This is row 4. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2 to start. We're going to do a single crochet 2 together over the next 2 spaces. So we're pulling up a loop in the first space. We're pulling up a loop in the second space. 3 loops on hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Chain 1. And then we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1 in each of the spaces. When we get to that last one under the turning chain, we're going to work a single crochet, chain 1, and a half double crochet under that turning chain. But just like before, we've done our 2 rows of brown. Now we're going to pick up our gray again. How it keeps angling like that. Now we drop off our brown but leave it attached. And we're going to chain 2 to start row 5, because row 5 is the same as row 3. We're doing row 6 now, which is the same as row 4. The next row is the last row of the tire track. Okay, so here we get under that turning chain. Oops, right under the turning chain, and we work a single crochet. We're going to continue with the gray in this case, or the black if you're working in black, and we're going to chain 2 and turn. We're going to work a half double crochet in the first space, a half double crochet in the next stitch, and a half double crochet in the next space, and we're going to continue across this entire row. So what we're doing is we're refilling in, just like it mimics the first row of the tire track.
The upper and lower body sections are worked the same, but on opposite sides of the tire track. Working only under the front loop the entire row, attach the brown yarn in the stitch at the dip side marker. Chain 1 and work 1 single crochet under the front loop only of all the stitches along this row until the point marker. Turn. Since you turned, notice that the back loop now appears to be the front loop. Continue to work one single crochet under each of these loops until the dip marker. You have just transitioned from a row to a round. There should be 34 stitches, but if you are off, it's easy to adjust on subsequent rows. On the next few rounds, we will begin to fill the dip and even off the rounds.
Once again, I'm turning around this corner, but I'm not turning my crocheting.
From now on, the stitches will be worked under both the top loops.
I'm going to work one single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches.
Then I'm going to build a bridge, so chain 3. Pinch the 2 sides together to locate a stitch on the opposite side that is close to the current stitch. Turn the work and jump over to the stitch and work a single crochet. The bridge of chains gives you room to cross the cavity. Now, work a single crochet in each stitch until one stitch before the dip marker. Work a single crochet 2 together over the marker. Continue to work one single crochet in each stitch until one stitch before the bridge. Pull up a loop in that stitch, skip the bridge, and pull up a loop in the first single crochet after the bridge. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. This creates a single crochet 2 together over the bridge. Then work one single crochet in each of the next 6 stitches. Then chain 3 to form another bridge. Turn the work, locate a nearby stitch on the opposite side, jump over to this stitch and work a single crochet. Continue with a single crochet in each stitch until one stitch before the next bridge. Single crochet 2 together over the bridge like we did before, and work a single crochet in each stitch until one stitch before the dip marker is reached. Work a single crochet 2 together over the marker and then continue up the other side with one single crochet in each stitch until one stitch before the bridge. Single crochet 2 together over the bridge and work one single crochet in each stitch past the point marker and around to the other side until one stitch before the next bridge. Single crochet 2 together over the bridge as we did before and continue to the dip marker. You have just built up the dip so that it is even with the point. The next round is worked even. I'll meet you when I'm done. This is when I like to move my beginning of row marker to the center of the side and work over to this new starting point. Now we are ready to begin the decrease sequence. The plan is to work 2 decreases at each of the side markers every other round. That's 4 decreases on each decrease round. Since you should have about 26 stitches at this point, you are aiming for 22 stitches when the round is complete. Then 18, 14, and finally 10. I simply work 1 or 2 less decreases gradually until I align with one of the row counts and work it down from there to 10 stitches. And don't forget to work 1 round even between each of the decrease rounds. For the upper body, when you get to 10 stitches, work 1 more round even to extend the neck. Slip stitch in the next stitch to end the round, leaving a long yarn tail for later use. Before you close the cavity, add a little bit of stuffing, but do not overstuff. Before you attach the head to the body, you need to decide which side is the public side, because he is going to be talking and the speech bubble needs to be pointing to his mouth. You can't have him talking with the speech bubble coming out over here. With that decision made, close the neck by pinching the top 2 edges together and sewing it to the join line on the back of the head. For the lower body, when you reach 10 stitches, you will continue with the tail. Remember to stuff the lower body softly before you get too far with the tail. The tail is striped. Colors are changed every 4 rows beginning on the next round with variegated. On round 1 and all odd number rounds, work even. On round 2 and 4, you're doing 2 increases near each side marker. On round 6 and 8, you're increasing 1 near each side marker. On round 10, you begin the decreases. Work 2 decreases near each side marker. Then, on round 12, 14, 16, 18, and 20, work 1 decrease near each side marker. This brings you down to 8 stitches. Do not change color, but continue with the brown and work 1 more round, working a single crochet 2 together all the way around until only 4 stitches remain. Cut the yarn and use the yarn tail to sew the tip of the tail closed. The tail is not stuffed.
The difference between a front paw and a back paw is the toes are shorter on the front paws and the length of the leg is a little bit shorter. So they're made using the exact same technique. So I'm just going to do the back paw. I'm going to start about 15 inches from the edge and form my slip knot. And I'm going to chain 7 with a double strand of yarn. You would chain 5 if you were doing the front paw. Now I'm going to place a marker on my last chain because I'm going to be returning to this quite often. Now, continuing with a single strand of yarn, I'm going to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to roll the chain over and working in the 3rd loop on the back, I'm going to single crochet in the 2nd chain from the hook. And in each of the next 2 chains. And then I'm going to single crochet in the marked stitch. So I just made a little toe, a short toe. Now I'm going to chain 5. I'm going to roll the chain over and I'm going to work in the 3rd loop on the back again, and I'm going to work a single crochet in the 2nd chain from the hook and in each of the chains along this edge. Then from the front I'm going to work another single crochet into that very same marked chain. So now I did a long toe. Then I'm going to chain 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll this chain over and work a single crochet in each chain, starting with the 2nd chain. Now I'm at the marked stitch again, and I'm going to work another single crochet in there. So I just did another long toe, and now I'm going to chain 4, so I do a short toe. So they're all work basically the same way, except it's just how many chains you make at the beginning. So I am doing 1 single crochet in each one until I get to that marked stitch, and I'm going to put a single crochet into the marked stitch again. So now I'm going to continue down this side of the marked stitch. So I'm going to put 1 single crochet in the top loop of each of these chains of double strand yarn. When I get to the last one, I'm going to put 4 single crochets into it, right there. That helps round that little corner, and then I'm going to come up this side and work 1 single crochet in each stitch until I get to the marked stitch. Now here I am at the marked stitch, and I'm going to put 1 more single crochet into that marked stitch. Now I'm going to end off leaving a 10-inch yarn tail, and I'm going to pull that end through. Now I'm going to take the marker out at this point, but the beginning one here, you see that little opening right there? I'm going to pull this one, and that will help close that up. For each foot, I'm going to have 2 little toes, 2 long toes, and a leg.
If adding Squish to the blanket, there is no need to attach the legs to the body. Just arrange the pieces in speech bubble on the blanket, making sure the tire tracks are parallel to the lane lines on the road. Divide the yarn tails into plies and use them to attach the pieces on the outer edges. If making a doll, use the yarn tails to sew the legs in place. Either way, weave in all the other ends. I hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as I had fun making it. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. Happy crocheting!